Hi, my name is Wendy Sanchez, and today we will be discussing the Student Success Team process. The pre-referral process helps you ensure school staff members are aware of all factors that affect your students' learning. It allows you to collaborate, work as a team with educators who help your student. Whatever the outcome of the process, your involvement will impact your student's educational program in a positive way. The purpose of the pre-referral process is to ensure your student tries reasonable accommodations and modifications before he or she is referred for special education assessment. Sometimes a change in the classroom can turn her performance around and make it unnecessary to consider special education services. Using strategies that draw on your student's strengths and meet her educational needs may be all it takes to put her back on the road to academic progress. The pre-referral team goes by different names in different places. In some schools, it's called the Student Study Team, while in others, it's the Student Intervention Team, Child Student Team, Teacher Support Team, and Student Success Team. Regardless of its name, the purpose of the team is to work together to identify your child's learning strengths and needs, put strategies into action, and evaluate their impacts so your child can succeed in the general education classroom. Review. This is your step one, is the intervention and consultation with the school psychologist. Review your students' strengths, interests, and talents. Discuss reasons for referral, their overall performance level and behavior in the classroom. List interventions previously tried and their rate of success. The school interventions may include accommodations, modifications, and behavior plans. Home interventions may include follow-up with health concerns, behavior plans, and help with homework. Brainstorm interventions together that address concerns. Select the interventions to try, develop a plan to carry them out, agree on a time to meet again to discuss progress. Put the intervention into action and evaluate it over time. The timeline can vary greatly, from a couple of weeks to a school quarter trimester, depending on the type of program set up. The team meets again to discuss the student's progress of the intervention. As a result of the intervention, did your child's performance improve, remain the same, or did it decrease? This is a form of the pre-referral intervention strategies. Some interventions, if you want to target behavior intervention, some of the interventions that are provided are one-on-one mentoring, small group instruction, supervision during transitions, positive reinforcement, private discussions regarding the student's behavior. Some environmental accommodations that can help a student are sitting near the teacher, low lighted area, have more physical space, minimize auditory distractions, and etc. You'll be going over the strategies and together decide what interventions are appropriate to meet the student's needs. Step 2 is the actual SST meeting. There are no rules for membership on a pre-referral team. Generally, the team includes general education teachers who are most familiar with the general education classroom and curriculum, and a counselor or administrator. The team may also include a school psychologist, special education teachers, and related service personnel such as speech and language pathologists. Each school selects team members depending on what works best for them. As a parent, you're a key member of this team. Although law doesn't require pre-referral meeting, and parent participation isn't guaranteed, most schools include parents in this process. You're the most familiar with your child's health and development, family environment, academic history, special skills and talents, and learning and behavioral needs. If the interventions are effective for your child, seems to be back on track, schools generally continue with the plan and hold future meetings as needed. This suggests your child doesn't need a special education evaluation at this time. Most likely, he will benefit from instruction in the general education classroom when continuing interventions. If the interventions don't bring about desired change, the team may decide to try another intervention or alter the current one starting the process again, or refer your child for special education evaluation to find out if he is eligible for special education services as a student with a disability. Lastly, these are some of the things that we need in order to have a successful student success team. We definitely need each other. We need the students' input, we need the parents' input, the teachers' input, the school psychologist's input, as well as the administrator's input, because we all know the child in different ways and different settings. We need to define the child and not the problem. So start with what the student is really good at and what their strengths are. Identify what we see in the school setting and not what we think the problem is. So for example, a student who is very impulsive and is very hyperactive, we don't say, oh, the student has ADHD. We explicitly define the behaviors. We say the student is blurting out when without permission, getting up out of his seat without asking for permission, is scribbling all over the papers instead of doing his work, etc. We also need to implement evidence-based interventions. So these are strategies that have been designed to produce academic and behavior changes. They are rooted in scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness on student success and student progress. We need to also implement these interventions with integrity and fidelity. So what we say that we're going to implement, we're actually going to do it and show evidence and monitor their progress to make sure that we are seeing some type of progress. Whether it may be declining, maybe it's a steady but slow progress, or maybe the student demonstrated excellent progress. If you have any further questions or concerns, please consult with your school psychologist to assist you